Hey friend, it's Stacy, saying hello with a top 10 favorite. Thanks for listening to episode 10, Inner Compass, Navigating Life's Decisions. Hi, I'm Stacy Holmes, and this is Glordinary, a few moments where we celebrate God's glory and champion the ordinary. I'm glad you're here. Oh, friend, do you have days where your brain just hurts? Whether it's the barrage of questions all day long, or the swirling uncertainties of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, my brain is tired. You too? Decision fatigue, it's legit. When faced with multiple choices, it can be daunting to maneuver your life's decisions kind of like they're chess pieces, especially if and when those choices are good or goodish ones. It's kind of like we're hurdling obstacles of opportunity. I remember a couple years ago, I felt really stuck about some pretty major school decisions for my kids. And if you didn't already know, we homeschool our daughters because, well, that just works for us. And honestly, can you really ever have enough denim jumpers in your closet? Okay, I'm kidding. 3 is clearly enough. Okay, I'm kidding again. But P.S., this episode isn't really about homeschooling, so you can listen even if you don't homeschool your kids, or have kids, or even no kids, because if you have decisions to make, it still applies, I promise. At the time, I had 2 students entering middle and high school, and I was feeling the weight of the world in their educational pursuits. I foolishly Googled best ways to home educate your older child. Newsflash, don't do this. That's like WebMD for education. Except this time, I wasn't diagnosed with influenza or a flesh-eating virus, so good day. Almost as deadly, though, were the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of curriculum choices. I had no idea what to do. Decision fatigue? More like analysis paralysis. Funny enough, I had already been homeschooling for 9 years at this point. I kind of should have had this one on lock. Well, lucky-ish for me, I live in a city with a homeschool building. Literally, like that's the name. HSB, or homeschool building. 0 points for creativity on that one. But the HSB is a place where homeschoolers connect for classes, extracurricular events, clubs, and there is a blessed bookstore fully stocked with more curricula choices than you could ever possibly use in a zillion lifetimes. So naturally, I went there. Oh, Stace, what are you thinking, girl? I remember praying in my car on the way to the homeschool building. You see, I recalled 3 words from earlier that week. I'd been reading in 1 Chronicles 4 about the Israelites settling into their land, which was, quote, spacious, peaceful, and quiet. Those 3 words echoed in my soul on repeat all week long. Spacious, peaceful, quiet. I was feeling anything but that. It was one of those like, I'm picking up an echo here, Lord. I'm sensing a theme type moments. Have you had those before? So I began to ask different questions that morning on my drive. Instead of my usual, what am I going to do? What's the right choice? What should I pick? My question became, what would it look like to choose curriculum that's spacious, peaceful, and quiet? I had never asked a question like that before in my life, and those were hardly parameters that I could pitch to the sales associates who were quite eager to help and oh so kind. Yet I kind of knew what it meant, like deep down in my gut. I knew I wasn't asking what was literally spacious, literally peaceful, and literally quiet because, well, I live in a tiny house that's completely non-spacious, and I live there with other humans that are completely non-quiet. I'm looking at you, John. So it wasn't necessarily a literal question. Rather, I was zeroing in on what I valued. I valued that which was spacious, peaceful, and quiet. Yes, in my external environment and also my schedule, but also in my soul. Would this decision promote that which was spacious, peaceful, and quiet? Now look, I realize sometimes, even many times, decisions, they're made for us. We don't have a choice in the matter, and now, well, here we are. But when it is within my power to choose, those three questions, is it spacious? Is it peaceful? Is it quiet? They became a litmus test for my soul each time I faced an obstacle of opportunity. What's more is they became an inner compass when anything seemed a little off or overwhelming, maybe just lacking clarity, whether that was a fork in the road decision or just a whole buffet of extracurricular assortments. Is it spacious? Is it peaceful? Is it quiet? Oh, but friend, I've got to say this too, or I won't be able to sleep tonight. Let me be clear. This inner compass only works because it's rooted in bedrock truth, God's truth, not my truth, your truth, no, God's truth, His word. It's not rooted on culture's shifting compass. Because let's be real, mistakes, they can feel very spacious in the moment. Poor choices, sure, that could seem peaceful in the moment. Questionable decisions, man, they can snuff out that deep down conviction in a hot second. Unless we're rooted in the bedrock truth of God's word with a heart to listen and learn. So this inner compass, it works. Is it spacious? Is it peaceful? Is it quiet? But it works because it's rooted in the Bible's foundational truth, just like what we see in 1 Chronicles 4. And because I tend to need reminders in my life, I literally have this framed hanging on our wall. And it reads like this: in our home, we value spaciousness, room to breathe, discover, and pivot as needed. We value peace, dialing down the quote-unquote noise of comparison and compromise of our God-given identity and purpose. We value quiet, the habit of listening well to God, ourselves, and others. Spacious, peaceful, quiet. What would it look like to begin the questions with what you value instead of what would work? Are you facing any big decisions this season? Maybe it's just the constant swirl and whirl of questions and choices. Instead of tackling all the questions today, consider a different starting place for the conversation within yourself. What do you value? As for me and my house, we value spaciousness, peace, and quiet, just like 1 Chronicles 4. Remember, you're not alone in this. I'm praying for you, friend. Have a Glordinary day.